on today is something very interesting I call the market-driven indicators. A market-driven indicators is something which is out there in the market. It's easy to find that information, and to try to run your own analysis is much more easier. So this is what I'm going to stress on today, is the market-driven indicators. Let's look at what are those. And I'm going to pick up 3 indicators, because the 3 things which concern us at this point of time, as we discussed in the panel discussion, even afterwards in the other presentation, is the inflation. Everybody is worried, at least in this part of the world, where the inflation is going to head, because inflation is one of the reasons why the markets in this part of the world is dragging down. These are the reasons why the economic growth is kind of slowing down. Then you have the economic growth itself, which is very close to each one of you who are managing the business. You would like to have some good indicators which helps you to figure out what is happening with the economic growth. And the third and the last one is again the whole theme of the day or the season is the uncertainty. So what is that one indicator you want to see to manage the uncertainty? Okay, so let's go and start looking at the inflation. So what are the indicators? The market-driven indicators, the information which is out there in the market, how you can use that to derive a meaningful concept about inflation and the other indicators. Okay, so let's get started. First one is let's look at the screen. So on your left-hand side on the top, you have the oil price. Okay, so we all know, reading the newspaper, research, or our textbooks, we all know when does the oil price goes up. What does oil price represent? The price represents economic growth or prospect. Every time we hear about economic growth going to go up, the oil price goes up because you need more oil. So very common over that. Then when does the gold price goes up? People buy gold when there is uncertainty, there's a credit risk, when there's a fear of inflation. Okay? So people end up going and buying gold when there is uncertainty and inflation, and people buy oil when they expect the economic opportunity or growth prospect to go up. And if you combine these 2 information, and you can come up with what I call the gold to oil ratio. The gold price is available out there, the oil price available out there, and you can simply divide the gold by oil, and you get a very interesting tool. So what is that? So on the top, what you see is the price of the gold and oil. All of us see that. And on the bottom, what I've done is I've calculated the ratios. And let me show you how you can generate a very interesting indicators out there. So right at the bottom here, I have the 6, the ratio is 6. What it is telling me is that if I have 1 ounce of gold, okay, if I have 1 ounce of gold, I go to the market, I can buy 6 barrels of oil. But after the Lehman crisis, the same ounce of gold, I can buy 26 barrels of oil. We all know when does the price of gold goes up. It goes up when there is uncertainty, when there is risk. So the same here is the price of my gold has gone up. That means the uncertainty or the risk of the inflation fear has gone up. But once the economic prospect on the back of the simulation started coming in, the ratio started falling, and right now the ratio is at 60. Essentially, it means that if I have 1 ounce of gold, during the peak of Lehman crisis, I could have bought 26 barrels of oil. The same gold, I can buy only 16 barrels of oil. So what I do every day is I keep looking at this indicator if this ratio is going up. If this ratio is going up, it means market is pricing in inflation and risk. If this ratio is going down, that means somewhere people are pricing in less uncertainty on economic growth. Why this is such an interesting indicator? Because of 3 reasons. 1, among all the commodities, the most liquid are the gold and the oil. So everybody out there is taking a view on the economic growth or risk using these 2 instruments. Both the instruments are priced in the same currency. So you don't have the risk of the currency. Okay? And this information is easy to find. So if you add these 3 things, and it's on real-time basis, where market is taking a view whether the economic activity is going to go up or the inflation or the risk is going to go up, and this ratio actually helps you to do that. So this is the first indicator I want you to leave with, is the gold to oil ratio. It's very easy to calculate, but extremely powerful. But they say the proof of the pudding is in eating. So let me show you a correlation. What you see over here is gold to oil correlation with the US CPI. The US CPI